The auction ledger still exists. A thin book, cracked leather, water stains along the edges. Edgefield County, South Carolina, June 3rd, 1858. Lot numbers written in brown ink. 12, 13, 14. Then one line, smaller than the rest. Almost careless. Lot 15. Female. $10. No name. No age. Only one note in the margin. Poor stock. Unattractive. The handwriting slants downward, as if the clerk had already lost interest. The sale lasted less than 2 minutes. Witness accounts mentioned laughter. A few men stepped away to smoke. One buyer offered $5. Another shook his head. Finally, a planter named Elias Whitaker raised 2 fingers. 10. No one countered. The hammer came down soft. Not even a full strike. Just enough to end it. Paperwork folded. Chain unlocked. She was walked across the yard alone. The clerk didn't bother recording a description. No height. No scars. No country of origin. Just female. It was the cheapest adult sold that week. Cheaper than an old mule. Cheaper than a broken wagon. Whitaker purchased 6 people that day. 5 are listed carefully. Ages. Skills. Teeth condition. But not her. For years, that line remained the only trace she existed. Until something changed. Because 10 years later, her name began appearing everywhere. In letters. In disputes. In court complaints. In fights between white men who should never have known her at all. The same name. Repeated. Crossed out. Written again. Like someone trying to erase smoke. Recover a stain that kept coming back. The first time the clerk noticed it, he underlined it twice. Then wrote in the margin, "Why does every man ask for her?"
Whitaker's plantation sat low near the river. Humidity stayed trapped between the trees. Wood rotted fast. Paper curled at the corners. Records smelled faintly of mildew and lamp oil. 43 enslaved people lived there in 1860, listed by first names only. Carpenter, cook, field hand, child. She appears near the bottom. Added later. Different ink. Eliza. No surname. Age guessed. Approximately 17. There are no earlier entries for her, as if she simply arrived fully grown, assigned to domestic work. Laundry first, then kitchen, then the main house. That part is unusual. House positions were usually given to women already trusted, or related to someone trusted. But there are no family ties listed. No mother. No siblings. No children. Nothing connects to her. Former workers later described her as quiet, kept her head down, did not speak unless spoken to, carried water buckets without spilling, moved carefully around furniture. One remembered her hands, cracked skin, burn marks from irons. She avoided mirrors, refused leftover dresses other women traded for, slept near the stove room, alone. At night, footsteps were sometimes heard upstairs. After midnight. Not loud, just boards settling, doors opening, closing. Whitaker began keeping private notes around that time, small scraps of paper, folded into his coat pocket. Not business, not crop yields, just short reminders. Send Eliza. After supper. Do not assign her to yard. Strange instructions. Repeated often. Then something else appears in the plantation expense book. More cloth purchases. Hair combs. Soap. Items never bought for field laborers. Items usually meant for guests. Or family. The totals don't match. Too many. For one person. And always beside one name. Eliza.
My 1864. The war had drained the county. Men gone. Money thin. Food counted by the pound. But Whitaker's records show something different. Extra sugar purchases. Wine. Imported fabric. Delivered quietly. Not entered into official tallies. Receipts folded inside letters. Addressed to no one. Around the same time, 3 neighboring planters began visiting more often. Not for trade, not for politics. They came at night, horses tied far from the house, lanterns kept low, no servants called to greet them. One stable boy later wrote that he recognized the pattern. They always asked the same question, before removing their coats. Is she inside? No name spoken, just she. Arguments started appearing in county court summaries, civil complaints, property disputes. But the subject was strange. Not land, not livestock. Interference, breach of agreement, private arrangement. Each complaint linked the same 3 men, and Whitaker. The clerk added a small note beside one filing. Cause unclear. Woman involved. Then there are the missing pages. 3 months of plantation logs gone, cut clean from the binding. No burn marks, no water damage, just removed, as if someone didn't want a sequence to exist. After that gap, Eliza's listing changes. Her value is rewritten from $10 to $900. 900. More than any skilled worker on the property. No explanation given, just a new number, pressed hard enough to leave grooves in the paper, and beside it one quiet word. Requested.
The evidence surfaced decades later, during a courthouse renovation. A locked tin box. Rust along the hinges. Inside, folded correspondence. Whitaker's handwriting. Tight. Controlled. Addressed to the same 3 men. Short notes. Transactional. Thursday night only. Do not arrive together. Payment in cash. No greeting. No signatures. Just instructions. Like scheduling livestock or equipment rental. Then one letter breaks the pattern. Longer. Messier ink. Dated February 1865. He writes, "She refuses now. Won't speak. Won't eat. Says nothing. You will have to manage her temper yourselves. There's a smudge near the bottom. Possibly water. Possibly sweat. Also included, a small cloth ledger. Names listed. Dates beside them. Tick marks. Amounts paid. Next to each entry, Eliza. Same name.
over and over, like a booking calendar. The totals are high. Hundreds of dollars. Money exchanged for access, for time, for ownership that wasn't ownership. Not marriage, not contract. Something unrecorded, unlawful even then. When emancipation came months later, Whitaker filed claims for lost property. Most were denied, but one line stands out. Loss of special domestic investment. Value: $1,200. No name attached. Just a blank space. And beneath it, a crease, where a name may have once been written, then removed.
After the war, the plantation dissolved. Buildings sold, fences taken for scrap, people scattered across counties. But court records show something unusual. 3 former planters filed separate petitions, all within 2 years, all searching for the same person. Each described her differently. Age uncertain, height uncertain, but the details repeat. Scar on the wrist, quiet voice, worked in a kitchen. Each man claimed prior arrangements. Each requested assistance locating her, not to reunite, not to pay wages, just to find. The clerk eventually wrote in the margin, "Men disputing a freedwoman as if she were still goods." None of them ever located her. After 1866, nothing. No census match. No marriage license. No burial record. Just absence. But her name remains everywhere else. In ledgers. In complaints. In receipts. In crossed-out ink. Men who never argued over politics or land, argued over her, filed paperwork, spent money, risked reputation, for someone they once called worthless. The original auction page still exists. Lot 15. $10. Female. Below it, years later someone added a pencil note. Faint. Almost gone. One word. Careful handwriting. As if finally acknowledging she had always been more than a number. Eliza. Just a name. Nothing else. And yet, it was the only thing they couldn't stop fighting over. Even after she was gone.